What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX Cast. This is episode 55. We have some special people with us today. As you guys know, we love to have guests on here, and I feel like these two guys are going to bring a lot to the table when it comes to conversations about cloud gaming this week. But Ray, Rock, how are you guys doing today,
Oh
man?
my God. First of all, that was an awesome intro. Love that intro, man. It just pumps me up. I'm doing great, man. All these games, it's a wonderful time to be a gamer right now, especially cloud, console, PC. I mean, it's just an awesome time right now.
Nice, nice. Good to have you guys on here for sure. How about you, Rock? How are you,
Yeah,
sir?
thanks for inviting us, man. I mean, this
Yeah,
this is a
Yeah.
massive honor. 10,000 subscribers. You guys are royalty.
crazy. It's
Royalty.
crazy. It's crazy. Oh gosh, come on.
Oh, it's a real trip. No, honestly, it's a real honor to be on. Thank you. And it's been a minute, as they say in the States.
Yeah. I was really bummed out because the last time we had you on here, Chief was hosting. I actually wanted to host with you.
Yeah, I
Be here
remember.
with you. So it's good to actually have you here where I can be here. So
It's an
excited for
absolute
this
honor.
one,
Thank you, my
sure.
friend.
Cool. All right, let's check in. We'll check in with the panel, but before we do, we'll just give you guys a little insight on what we're going to be discussing with the cloud gaming topic and news this week. So, as you guys know, Amazon Luna had a fantastic week 2 weeks ago, but this week was a little slow. They only had one game releasing for the platform, Assassin's Creed. Which we'll get to here in a bit. GeForce Now had the GeForce Now Thursday. They let us know 90 plus games are free to play in the platform, and they also got 13 games releasing this week. So we'll take a look at that and discuss between the panel among those games in that news. Google Stadia had 3 game release this week, which is incredible for the platform. And they also had a free demo, which we'll talk about, and an announcement for a game coming out next month. And as you guys know, Xbox Cloud Gaming had their second half of the month game release. So we'll discuss how we feel about those games. And also, they had Xbox coming to Windows PC as well, xCloud. So we'll talk about it. A lot to talk about. And again, having these two awesome guys on here is just going to make the discussion piece a lot more interesting, right? So let's check in with the panel members and then we'll say hi to the viewers, you guys watching us. So to get started, GTP, sir, how are you? And what have you been playing? What platform have you been using?
Yeah, so I've been up to a little bit of Tales of Arise and Lost in Random on Xbox. Yeah, I know Hellmonkey's going to like that one. And Lost in Random on Xbox as well. And some Origami 2 and Battlefield 1 on xCloud. And it dipped a little bit of toe into Assassin's Creed Liberation on Luna. So I've kind of jumped around, played a little bit of everything. Nothing too crazy. I probably put a couple more hours in Tales of Arise. I'm not as far as Monkey, but I'm probably 7 hours-ish into it. But it's good. Like it surprised me. Like as soon as I played the demo in a few different places, I had to grab it and not regretting that at all.
Right. I feel like that's like the sleeper game of this year, you know. Most people I know who've tried it, they have nothing but great things to say about it. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it for sure. How about you, Holtz? How are you, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
Oh, my intent was to actually play Judgment on Stadia. I'm definitely trying to finish this game, but I got distracted because everyone was talking about Tales of Arise. And I just love Bandai Namco games and I love this series. So I thought I could actually put myself off for a few weeks until it went a little bit cheaper. But because of the reviews, I went, you know what? Let's all go in at Tales of Arise. So I've put about 10 hours in and I'm definitely getting this like great Star Ocean, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Final Fantasy 15, all these epic games where, you know, you got all these battle abilities and battle combats, fishing, forging, cooking. It just felt like this big, huge, epic adventure. And the instrumentals and the start scene just got me hooked. I didn't want to stop. The characters, the voice acting was like from like the person who does Noctis out of Final Fantasy 15. So I just didn't want to put it down. It was just all this amalgamation of everything that really wanted me to go forward. And then also I'm trying to catch up to Hellmonkey. He's further, so I'm grinding away, going, I will get past him. I will get past him. So that's what I've been playing. It's a shame I didn't pick it up for Cloud. I was using Shadow, but I don't have Shadow anymore. So this is the first game that makes me regret getting rid of my Shadow.
What are you playing it on?
Xbox.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's so interesting. Like I kind of talked to you guys about that game last week, and I only have 2 hours. You guys have just like, you guys have just killed me with hours, man. That's crazy. It's good to see you guys. I got to get back to playing that for sure. All right, Duncan, sir, how are you? What are you playing? What platform?
I have been playing on my range of stuff. I am platform agnostic, as people may know. This week, I have been dropping on some xCloud. I was playing some Slay the Spire of the xCloud. I've got that badness going for me again. Also, some Destiny 2 on basically everything. Dropped into F1 on Stadia and also Grid on Stadia this week as well. So I have been playing on all the platforms, and GFN I've been playing just a whole load of stuff. But too much to mention. My big problem is I jump from game to game to game to game.
Beauty of cloud, man. You have all these options to jump around with. So cool. Good to have you on here, Duncan. Now, Monkey, let's get to you. We like to save the best for last, so we'll get to the guests in a bit. But Monkey, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I am great. I had a week off last week. I just started back today, so I'm feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and I've down 2 Lords already in Tales of Arise. I've got 3 more to go. And can I just say, I bought that game last week while we were live on the podcast because everyone was talking about it. And I was like, I'm just going to buy that because I'm off next week. I'll put some time in. And Holtz just explained that game delightfully well. Everything about it is just so damn good. And do you know what's taking me back? Personally, I'm not a big JRPG fan. As I've said before, I've never played a Final Fantasy game. Never, ever. I've dipped in and out with some where I could try them on subscription services, but none of them really caught me. But Tales of Arise, the sort of reviews it was getting, you know, people's opinions that I respect about games were just talking this game up. And honestly, it's game of the year for me. Like, it's the absolute, probably game of the last 2 years. Nothing has drew me in like this game has, man. I don't want to put it down. Like, I don't want to be here right now. I want to be playing the game. Honestly.
Damn, it's like that.
In the nicest possible way.
You can go.
You know? So yeah, look, been playing that. Been using my Shadow. You guys know I'm loving Shadow right now. Jumped in for a bit of Origami 2. And I said in the video, shameless plug, we video on CGX on Origami 2 running on xCloud. Runs really well. So smooth. It's very well optimized. It's not highly demanding game, which is great. And there's a lot of fun to be had in it. I wasn't sure about it at first. And yeah, it's different. It's sort of, it's Tenchu, like, if anyone remembers Tenchu from the PS1 days. Absolutely fantastic game, that. It's sort of similar in that way, but instead of using your sort of ninja stars and your grappling hook and that, you have these shadow abilities. I'm not going to ruin any of the story. It's quite a good intro. The art style is really good as well. It's that kind of sort of hand-drawn, sort of not quite watercolor effect, a little bit more vibrant than that. There's definitely a fun to be had in that game. There's no difficulty settings either, which I found strange.
Wait, there's no settings?
There's no difficulty settings, so you can't switch between like story mode and medium or hard difficulties. So it'll be interesting to see if it gets more difficult going forward as you progress through the missions. And yeah, that was on xCloud, that was on the browser. It was running really well. I have Age of Empires installed in Shadow. I'm going to try that out hopefully over the weekend. See what that's like, because it's a mass open beta playtest that they're having right now. So and it's instant access as well. So if anyone wants to try that, head over to Steam or whatever, and you can get in there. I don't know if it's going to maybe come to any sort of cloud services, but I'm using it on Shadow. So if you have that sort of access, jump in and check it out.
Cool, man. You guys have been gaming this week, man. So it's all good to hear for sure. Good to have you in here, Monkey, Sure. We'll get your take on some of the news today. So let's get right into this. But before we do, again, the two guests here, we'll start with Ray. Ray, big fan of your stuff and your content.
Thank
Something
you.
I appreciate about you, man, is you keep it low key, man. Like no drama, and you enjoy gaming, man. And it's always good just chatting it up with you and listening and watching your show. So pleasure to have you on this
Thank you,
podcast, man.
Edge. Thank you.
Sure.
It's a pleasure to be with a bunch of great group of guys that I respect, and I look at my peers in the gaming community, and it's man, when I saw you DM me and asked me to come on, I was like, yes. So happy to be here.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So let the people know what you've been playing, what platform, and
Sure.
yeah.
Well, they did a patch on the Cyberpunk 2077 patch 131. So I beat it on Street Kids. So I said, you know what? Let me try it on Corpo. I think it's that Corpo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting over doing that. So I've been playing that on Stadia. I've been playing a lot of Rainbow Six Siege on Stadia. And then let's see what else. And then I'm loving did the Luna Couch. Man, shout out to Amazon. The Luna Couch. Shout out Tyler's in the he says, hey man, here's my code. Come on, let's play. And then instantly we were playing, he beat me in Sonic Mania. And let's see what else. And then I have Shadow. I have my EA Play app on Shadow. So I've been playing a lot of Madden. I can't wait for
Ooh.
FIFA 22. I'm like, oh, I can't. I need a new soccer game. So that's what I've been doing.
Dag, I didn't even think about that because I actually ended up buying Madden and Stadia. But if you have EA Play and Shadow, pretty much you can play Madden because it comes, with a subscription.
Mhm.
That's brilliant in the cloud. Good
Yeah.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Awesome. Again, love to save the best for last. And Rock, as you guys heard me say,
Oh,
big fan
shucks.
of your stuff, man.
Yeah,
And
Monkey
yeah,
was the best
yeah.
for last just now, so we should have left it there. Yeah, well, I've been playing across the cloud as you do this week.
Yeah.
I've been doing some GFNs and Stadia
Yeah.
and some xCloud. I'd love to play some Luna, but it's all lunacy, and they still haven't broken out from the States. So what can I
Yeah.
say? Until they do, and then I will. But I played I Am Fish, Skatebird. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
A bit of Origami too as well. Mainly my week has been dominated, as it has been now for some time, by Destiny. Do you know what they've done? They've squirted some extra crack into that game, and it's just addictive. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I get off it. I'm like this, and they're taking me into a quiet room and calming me down. Actually, I Am Fish and Skatebird are great fun. I really enjoyed those. We were just talking before the show, and Holt, you were saying that there's a game, I don't know, Super Monkey Ball or something that was, is that the game? Very similar to I Am Fish. That's great fun, but I do think that they're in dire danger of getting pulled by Pixar, because everything from the logo to the character animation is a tad Nemo. But it's a really good game, and Skatebird's fun as well. If you haven't had a crack at that one, if you like skateboarding, it's kind of loosely, I don't know, your budgie on skates, which, in my current Destiny addicted state is fine. I mean, that's perfectly nothing wrong with addicted birds on skateboards.
Good stuff. As always, Rock. Good to have you on here. So
Bless
it's quite interesting with Skatebird. I was playing it and I was so distracted because the wings flap as you're going, and that just like throws me off completely. I'm like, I can't get into this, man, but I'm glad you're loving it, man. It's
good.
good
It's
stuff
good.
overall. So just want to take a sec to say what's up to the channel. A lot of you guys are on here. And I have a poll up, so it'll be nice to just get y'all's opinion on who do you guys think had the best cloud gaming news. So it's a little late to the poll, but just to let you guys know, it's active now. But Dambo, good to have you in here. Rage Quit, good to have you. Maker, always good to have you. Happy Cloud Gamer, good to have you. Ray, I see you in here as well. Good to have you. Zero Gamers for me. Good to have you in here. Rock, I see you as well. Nimbus, again, new member to the CGXS channel streamer. So check that channel out. But Nimbus is good to see you as well. Vet, always did. Good to see you on here. Baby, I hope I'm not saying your name wrong, but good to have you on here as well. Oh, name is pretty similar. I'm just gonna, I don't know. Good to have you on here. Let's see, Freedom Time with Tyler. Good to this pretty cool name. Good to have you on here as well. Hopefully, Stadia Pro. Good to have you, my dude. Always. Porter, I almost said Peter. Good to have you on here as well. All right, Linux Network, good to have you. All right, appreciate you guys. Again, check out that poll. We're going to get right into this, though. So as you guys know, Amazon Luna had one game this week with Assassin's Creed Liberation. From what I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I thought this was like 2 games. I'm seeing 2. What, Duncan, was the other one?
Skatebird.
Oh, that's right. That was a day-and-date release.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So last week, too, they had a day-and-date release, if I'm correct. Okay. So we've seen something here, pattern with Luna with day-and-date release. So let's see if we can keep that going. So those 2 games was released for the platform this week. I just want to get y'all's take on what are your thoughts on these games. And I noticed the skateboard was released for the family channel. So that's the $2.99 one. And so let's bring this to the table, because in order for you to play skateboard now, you need that, right? So if you have the Luna Plus channel, which is $5.99, you can't play skateboard because, again, you need the family channel. So does that become an issue for Luna? Just want to open that up. Let me know what you guys think about these 2 games, and then let me know if this if you want to call it fragmentation within Luna's ecosystem in the future, is going to be a problem for this platform. So GTP, let's start with you. What's your take on this?
I haven't tried Skatebird out on Luna, but I have tried Assassin's Creed Liberation. That's one of the games I skipped because they were like putting those games out over and over and over again, and they finally took a break and came out with something good when they did Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. But so I was like, let me jump in, and no issues there. It's just like all the other games I've tried there. It's running really well. I thought it was interesting that Skatebird kind of went to like I think it hit xCloud, Luna. I forget where else it was, but it kind of just went everywhere. And I know the reviews have really been horrible for that game, but I'm sure there's good reason for that. I mean, even the description of the flappy wing skateboarding it's hilarious. So it's definitely going to have its little player base. But I thought it was nice that there was a lot of support that game just kind of went everywhere. So that was cool. As far as the fragmentation of the channels, that's kind of something you're gonna see, and we experienced that a little bit with Game Pass, right? Because there's PC games that aren't on console, so Game Pass doesn't get you certain games, and then Cloud doesn't have certain. A little bit different with channels, but a similar idea. If they were gonna have when you add something like, say, a Sega channel or Capcom or something, right? That's not a fragmentation because each channel will have that company's games. But Luna's got an interesting situation here where when they want to add in-house channels, like, what we'll call them first-party channels, by them, then they have to balance, okay, game releases on Luna Plus, game releases on Family Channel. Who knows if they'll have other channels in the future? And that's just something we'll have to watch for. I don't see it being a problem as long as there's enough games coming to support both. If I'm a subscriber to Luna Plus, for me personally, I don't care if like Skateboard isn't on there. I do subscribe to the Family Channel also, but yeah, as soon as that channel launched, I saw that I had to subscribe if I wanted to test more games or if I wanted to check those out, and you got to kind of do that. But I mean, what are you going to do? And the prices, at least for now, are good, right? $2.99 for over 35 family games, $5.99 for Luna Plus, and we'll just have to see how they handle it in the future. But it's all about how quickly do the games come and what games come for each channel. But in-house channels, there's always going to be some kind of fragmentation, right?
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Duncan? Let's move to you. What's your take on Luna news this week?
They couldn't really follow up the last week's news, could they, really? Bar the expansion coming out here, I think, ticking on nicely. They are getting the games in. They've got another one for Ubisoft Plus. The Skatebird going to the family channel is dead on. Regarding the fragmentation, I think we're going to ultimately see a Luna subscription where you get all their channels for a set amount. I think that may be the case down the line. It's good to see that they're pushing more games out there, but we need the expansion. We say it all the time, but at least we got some good news this week. Was it this week where they have confirmed controller support is going into New World? It won't be there at launch.
Oh. That's a big deal.
It is
huge.
Yeah. So that is good news. So I think that just further cements that it is coming to Luna. It's just a matter of when.
True. Good take with that. It's funny you were saying what could they have done, right, to follow the news last week. Imagine if this week they would have been like, and we are releasing to more countries. I feel like they could have just dropped the mic, walked away.
It's
But
got to be soon.
yeah, hopefully soon, right? But let's check in with you, Rock. What's your take on the Luna news this week?
So, I think it's interesting because we're still, I think everybody knows or at least assumes that at some point there will be a Prime option. And at that point, as Duncan says, there'll be a probable price point that covers everything. I'm not sure that going down the channel route, segregating it into genre categories is a sensible way forward. I understand. If you look at the moment at Amazon Prime Video, they've kind of got channels that I don't know many people subscribe to. I'm sure they have a following. I'm sure they have a base. But it worries me that they're trying to do a similar thing with games. And yes, it's great that if you've got kids and you pay $2.99, you can have them exclusively playing those games. But those games are available elsewhere without having to, pay an additional amount to whatever the overall amount that you're paying for them is in the first place. So I'm not totally convinced that's the right way to go, but it's interesting. I do get and I do appreciate the idea of having independent publisher channels like obviously Ubisoft, and I'm sure there are more to come in the very near future, because we've seen this with xCloud, of course, with EA, and I'm sure there'll be a Bethesda stake in there sometime in the not too distant future as well. And if those are the games that you really get off on, I've got a Ubisoft Plus subscription because I love Ubisoft games, and I like what they're doing in terms of trying to extend the whole gameplay with each of their titles. So if you're going to be playing Far Cry 6, you're going to have enough content to keep you going for it in a minimum of 6 months, because that's kind of how long it's going to take for them to recover the cost of the lost sale of that game through your subscription. And we've seen that already with Valhalla and Phoenix and so on. So that's the way they're going. I don't know yet whether Luna's model is right, but I am interested to see when they finally go at least wider into Europe, maybe, and maybe Australasia, maybe India, and also then have a Prime option. So you get that free tier as part of your $80, $90 a year Prime subscription, which then allows you to buy into the other channels. And that makes more financial sense.
I agree. Good stuff. Good stuff with that, Rock. Holtz, what's your take on the Luna news, man?
Well, because Luna's not over yet, I've not played any of the games, of course, but all I can say is it's great to see Luna bringing more Assassin's Creed games. But, I'm not really excited personally seeing this game come to the franchise and the service, because this is the weakest Assassin's Creed game that I've actually ever played. I remember 9 years ago when I remember playing it on the PS Vita, and I just thought it was lackluster. And then when I actually came to the PlayStation 3 and the HD collection, I thought I'll give it another chance. But now seeing it after 9 years, I just think it won't age well mechanically or the features, so I'm sort of staying away from it. But of course, for people who actually like these experiences and storytelling, I'm pretty sure it's good for them, especially with Luna's resolution. So it might look good for all the people who's actually trying it now.
Sure. Good point. Good point. How about you, Ray? What's your take on the Luna news?
Man, I am happy that Assassin's Creed is coming on Luna because I really honestly just started getting into the Assassin's Creed games in 2020. So that's a huge. I'm probably going to try out the new game tomorrow. But and as far as the family in my household, I mean, I got a 21-year-old and I got a 13-year-old. My 13-year-old, he likes Warzone and Fortnite. So I don't think he's going to be playing any of the little kiddie games. But for me, I'm a huge. I love Ubisoft, and I love the fact that I can play on Stadia and then I can play on Luna, and it carries over my games and my stats and everything. So, and just being a founder, Luna founder, I'm really excited of where Luna's going with the couch. I got to play the beta with New World, which I just thought was just a beautiful MMO. And with them implementing the controller, that means that, it's down the road.
Right.
That it's eventually going to be on Luna. And I can't wait. So, Luna did great. Luna's doing great.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Ray. Thanks for that. How about you, Monkey? What's your take on the Luna news this week?
Fairly uninterested. One, because I can't play it. It's still locked to US only. Like, you guys have done something special to deserve that. And Assassin's Creed games, man, they do not interest me. I've tried a few over the years, and I just don't like them. They haven't never suited my taste, and I'm not really too fussed. For people that want to play on Luna, they can now. Superb. Skateboard only going to the family channel worries me, though. I don't see any reason why that can't be part of your Luna Plus channel as well. It's not like it's a big, massive game. This isn't Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Bird. It's not a massive franchise game that should be locked to one channel. So I don't see any reason why they can't put it on them both. That is a worry for me going forward with Luna. I've already had to cancel subscriptions because I was subscribed to them all, man, and I just wasn't getting my money's worth out of them. And when Luna hits here, I'll subscribe. I'll check out all the channels that are available at the time, but I won't be paying for them all, every month, because that is really going to start getting expensive. Shadow already cost me £30, but I am getting a month. I am getting a full use out of that, absolutely 100%. Whereas the rest of the subscription services, it doesn't really, for me, the value. I don't see the value in it if I'm not playing them consistently. But that's the beauty of Cloud. I can resub to these whenever something interests me. It's great. But I just feel with Luna, when they do finally launch, they need to have one core package that gets you the best of everything to satisfy, sort of people like me that don't want to have these multiple subscriptions. And I think there's more than just myself out there probably thinks the same. So, sorry. Duncan, on mic, when was it said that the controller support was coming for New World? Because the last that I read, the New World themselves said that they were attempting to implement it, but they weren't going to guarantee it was at launch. Has something changed? I've missed it.
No, that's what I was just saying. If they said that they're working on it and it's going to be coming, it's just not going to make it at launch.
Oh, we thought you said it was coming.
I thought you said it was coming at launch.
You darn Northern Irish accent. What the hell's wrong with you?
I just thought I missed something massive during the week. No, that's cool. That's cool.
That deflated the whole show. That has. Thanks, pal.
No, that happened when you joined.
Monkey makes a really good point, because not only is it a shame that they've locked Skatebird behind the kids channel, but actually,
Yeah.
I would even go so far as to say it's not a kids game anyway. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, okay, it's got an innocuous bird in it, but it's clearly not. It's not like I Am Fish. And if I was the developer, and I'm not quite sure how the model works, I know with some of these channels they get a percentage, they'll get something every time somebody plays it. And if they've locked me behind a channel that hardly anybody's subscribing to, and it's not, I didn't design this as a kids game, I'm going to feel a bit peeved.
True. That's a great point. I mean, do they get a say as to where these games, what channels these games fall under, right? But yeah, I agree, man. This was not the best week, but I'm kind of conflicted same way you guys are with the channels, man. But Monkey, to your point, like the beauty with cloud is you get a pick, right? So for instance, you can just be like, all right, this is a game that I want to play on the Plus channel. I'm gonna pay that for the month, play the game, beat it, and then this is a game I want to play on the family channel. I'll pay, beat that, and move on. That's the beauty with cloud and subscription.
But
The
the problem is though, is every 2 days I come across a game I want to play, and that's why I end up with all these subscription services.
That is a problem, man. That is a problem, right? But yeah, it's the beauty in a way too with cloud for sure. But let's move on. Unless anyone else wants to add to the Luna news, we're gonna move on to GFN and talk about some of the stuff there.
Killing it. Killing it right now, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, GFN is next. So, as you guys know, GFN Thursday happens every Thursday. A lot of us here make videos. GTP covers it. Cloudy covers it. We cover it. So, just to throw that out there, check out each channel for GFN news on Thursdays. But they had some pretty good stuff to announce. It feels like every week they just let us know some awesome things about this platform. So the one this week is free-to-play games, and they're saying nearly 100 of the most played free-to-play titles are available on this platform. And at first I was like, that's BS, but I did some research and they were not joking, man. Warframe is on here, Destiny is on here, Leagues is on here, Fortnite, Apex. I mean, you name it, man. Most of them, except from Call, which was on here previously. But let's be real, it's pretty incredible when it comes to free to play. I really don't think any other cloud game platform, unless Shadow, but let's be real, you can't compare the two. I really don't think no other cloud game platforms comes close to what they have to offer with free to play. So I do want to get into that, ask you guys what your thoughts are in the free to play games, but I also want to it's not over yet with the news, right? So 10 other titles made their way to the platform with Honey, I Joined a Cult, Eastward, WRC 9, Game Deck, Speed Brawl, Origami 2, Origami the first one, Assassin's Creed 3, and this is the remastered, and a game called Pulsar and Burden. So I'm gonna open this up to the panel. What's y'all's take on the GFN news for this week? Let's start with Duncan for this one.
This week is, Jerry called it last week, and I think we keep on saying it's a GFM week. It's absolutely bang. What do you expect this whole year? It's a nice build up to next week, because next week is going to be a cracker. We've got a big game coming next week with Kana. With this, the free to play games, you don't actually realize how many free to play games are on GFN. There is just a mountain, and that's not even including I don't think it's including the demos which are on there either. And there's a stack of demos. For me, the game which I would draw attention to would be Eastward. That is getting absolutely great reviews out there, so it's well worth checking that out. Another game we did a review, we got early access to it, is Honey, I Joined a Cult.
Is that good?
we go for a movie star rating, so 1 star, 2 stars. A 2 star movie is still a good movie, or people might enjoy it, sort of thing. We gave it about 3.5 stars, and that's for it's just an early access. It's a review in progress until it actually gets a bit more mature. There is a lot of there's more to do in it than you think, and so it is definitely worth checking that out if you're looking something completely different. But GFN, it's what you expect now, and we say it all the time. They've set the bar high for themselves, and they are meeting it. And then dropping 10 games. Again, I'm only counting it as 3 game staying date. I'm not counting it as 4 game staying dates. They just keep on knocking it out from the park. Hell Monkey, you're going to say something?
Go ahead.
I think you're in agreement with me from the private chats with.
Oh, but WRC.
Yep, I'm not.
All right, okay, no, I'm with you now. I was.
Yes.
It's been a long day.
Yes, WRC was I think it was an Epic Game Store exclusive for a year, and it's on Steam now. And if you remember, 2 weeks ago, WRC 10 was released.
Yeah.
So technically, it is a day and date release, but I'm not counting it as a day and date release.
Okay.
But I think it's been a solid enough week for GFN again.
Yeah. Good to hear. Good to hear your take. How about you, Holtz? What's your take on the GFN news this week?
Well, to me, I'm totally not interested in any of the 3 games, because to me, I just see them as digital clutter half the time, because I usually just see the games full of microtransactions, or they just give you the base game, and then when you get you hooked in the game, they sort of offer you the DLC content to expand your experience.
You don't like Fortnite, man?
No, that is just crap.
I'm joking.
Gets a certain percentage addicted, and that's all it is. It's more about the skins than the actual any kinds of game mechanic or experience. So I sort of just, when I see these free to play, it's great for gamers who want to play these games, but for me, it's definitely a no. But the game that really interested me was Game Deck. This sounds really interesting, as it sounds similar to Disco Elysium, where it's more like a heavy story narrative game, but it doesn't have heavy action. So that is one game I might actually try, but sometimes I actually get fatigued quite fast. So maybe if it's on sale or drops, I might actually try it, but I'm not going to pay full price for it. And what really shocked me was actually seeing Assassin's Creed free. Because every time I see like Ubisoft Connect come too late, I'm like, wasn't that game already there on other storefronts? You've seen it really shocked me. I mean, I really did like Assassin's Creed 3, because I liked all like the Native American history story of and it carried on with Desmond. So this game was a must for me, because usually it plays in all the Eastern countries, so I never really played any games seeing what America looked like. So I was going through forests, little native tribes. I was climbing up early Boston, stuff like that. So it's a game definitely I want to actually go back and try. So I might actually subscribe and actually play it on GeForce Now. I'll subscribe to Ubisoft Plus and then dive back in and see how it runs. Because I've not played these games in years, so maybe a little quick comparison and see what I'm missing or what I'm not missing.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
And another game that I always like these type of genres, but Vedrum. It's one game but I know I'll be really interested in the World War I trenches. So
it's that game, yeah.
I know it's a very old game. I know it's like going back once again 8 years. So I don't know how much is actually fan services in it. I don't know how many people are actually still playing it now.
What did you call it? Vadron?
Vedrum.
It's well done, man. It's one of the big war campaigns of World War One. The hell's wrong with you?
That's why I love
Vadron?
Vedrum. There's no more.
Vedrum was a flipping horse.
Well, if it was a horse,
I love this game. I am so happy this game's on GFN. Love this game.
I had no idea of what this was, but
so I've never heard it, and because Trench Warfare, the only game I've actually played, and that's just kind of catty of Trench Warfare, was like Battlefield 1. So me jumping in and actually learning a few things might actually help me. So thanks for saying it. But
Vadron.
And now I'm done.
How about you, GTP? What's your take on GFN news
Oh,
for this
God.
week, man?
This is great. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I got to get over that. 93. So they're going to be going over 100 free to play soon, right? And I know you said you had to research when you heard. It wasn't that long ago I made a video about 84 free to play games on GeForce Now and being one of the best places to play free games. Now we're at 93, and that was just a couple months ago, and they're continuing to go. So I love that they wanted to that we highlighted that again this week, and we all threw that in there and just wanted to talk about it because it's you when you top that with the available free rig that you can also get. I mean, set aside, yeah, there's a 1 hour session length. Yes, you might have a queue time, but literally 100% free. You can get on a pretty nice rig and play 93 different games. I mean, no other cloud service really has that as an option. So I just think that's really cool. And you can really, especially if you're new to cloud, you're a little hesitant. I think GFN is a great way to jump in and be able to do a lot of free stuff without investing in any money. See if it works for you, see if any of the games are good for you. And the same can be said for some other platforms as well. But GFN really does it best. And another strong week for them. This is a strong month. I know we're all waiting for next week because we're all gonna get Kingdom Bridge of Spirits and gonna be playing that. So I'm really hyped up for that game next week. But getting 5 day and dates out of the 10 releases this week was good. Anytime they can keep landing day and dates is good. And I like seeing the Epic Game Store free game again. We're getting really good support every week of a variation of Steam, Epic, and Ubisoft. So, because Epic was kind of dry there for a while before we were like, what happened with Epic and GeForce Now? So we've seen this roll again of getting the free game and stuff. So that's been really nice. So yeah, just like I said before, and like Duncan said, it's a GFN week. They're bringing it every week like they have been, and I think it was Ray said earlier, they're killing it. They're really killing it, and they're on top of their game pretty much all year. We had a dry summer, but they never slowed down. They keep bringing the games. So
That's awesome. So, don't mean to bust y'all's bubble, but you guys are talking about like Canada. I was really anticipating, looking forward to that game coming out next week. But realistically speaking, I was doing some research, and this other YouTuber was saying that there's only been 2 trailers released for that game, right? And it's been a few a few months back since the last trailer, and this game's coming out next week, and no one has got like an update on this game. We haven't really seen much with the story about it. So me, I'm like, I'm gonna temper my expectations. I don't want to hype this game up and then have it just fall flat. So again, sorry to bust y'all's bubbles, but just want to have a realistic expectation for the game coming out next week. But if it's dope,
you're talking about
hey,
a $39.99 game versus a full $50, $60, $70 game that we deal with these days as well. Also from a bunch of people that jumped over from some animation movie making and stuff to then make a game. So you're right, it's got the potential to completely bomb on PS5 and on PC, but it also has the potential to be kind of like a little gem, something that comes out that like you're like, wow, I only paid 40 for this. So yeah, watch your expectations, but also I don't know, there's a lot of potential. But you're right, we haven't seen a whole lot about it.
okay, yeah. I hope it blows our minds. That's my hope. Again, for GFN to get like another game this is exclusive to PlayStation, that's a big deal. So.
What I'm going to say about it next week when the reviews drop, the PlayStation fans are going to be saying it's the best thing from sliced bread. The Xbox fans are going to say it's absolutely awful.
Trash, yeah.
Yes. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna go. How about you, Ray? What's your take on the GFN news for this?
My whole take on it is, as a gamer, what do we want? We want games. We want games. They're giving us the games. And another thing that I also like is that, some of these games, some of them are old, but some of them I haven't really played. And to try out the ray tracing, to play some of them for free, it's like, it helps me out because I don't have to fill my hard drive up. I can just use my Epic, my Steam account, my other accounts, and just play. And they're pumping out the games. This is an amazing cloud platform. I'm just so happy from where they started when they were getting games taken off. You know, everybody was, if you guys remember, they were taking the games off, and look at them now. They got all these epic games on there. And then for me, like I said, I'm just getting to Assassin's Creed. So to play Assassin's Creed in the cloud and experience with all the other stuff that I can experience it with the features now that I couldn't have if I was playing it on a PlayStation 3 or an older console. So I am very, very happy about GFN. And damn, free! Look at all those free games, you know. And you know, and am I a Fortnite player? No, but my son is, you know. And that's that's something instantly he can hop on and play with his friends. So GFN's killing it.
Yeah. And something, again, I don't advise using the free tier because the wait time can be really, really bad. But just to throw that out there, you literally can game for free with this platform, right? You choose a free to play game and you choose the free tier of GFN and you're good to go. You know? So I do agree. I think they're doing a good job with this and good job marketing to have almost 100 games that are free to play. Well, Rock, let's get to you, man. What's your take on GFN?
Yeah, well, I am a GFN founder. Although I don't use it so much these days. I mean, ultimately, it is a front for Epic and Steam, obviously. And my fear is, particularly knowing the guys behind Epic, that, you know, at any day of the week they may decide to run with their own show, and I don't know what would happen then to GFN. Having said that, what I will say is that the guys behind GeForce Now, I know the way they look after content creators is actually amazing. And they've been really good at building a community. I've not been too involved because, as you know, I don't stream games, or I do. It's rare, so I don't tend to get courted by any of the platforms. They're not interested in me. So even though I try, I don't get the free stuff. But
they're watching this. They're gonna hit you up after this show.
Happen. They don't want. they don't want some. They don't want some old raggedy ass English grey bearded dude flogging their games. I mean, I don't hit their demographic at all. Their socios are walking out the door when I turn up. But no, but it is, you know, it's a great technical platform. I'm with Stephen. I don't care particularly about free to play, and I could play Destiny for free on Stadia as well. It's not the only place I can play cloud for nothing, and other games. But I get the point that's being made. But I do think my only fear, as I've said, is that right now what they are is dependent on that big old shark. You know, they're like those little cleaner fish that go around the side of a whale. And when the whale dies, they pretty much... So my fear is that if the whale decides it's going to do its own cleaning,
it's screwed.
May be an issue for GeForce Now. I don't know.
They're not all Epic. They're not all Epic games.
No, I know said that. Steam as well.
Steam,
But, you know, ultimately it's dependent on those big guys. And we know that you know, that cloud isn't, they don't have the only tech in town. And we know that Stadia out there courting like a demon to try and sell its technology, and others as well. So that's my only fear, that, you know, ultimately I know they've got a decent amount of games, and I know Epic and you know, and Steam put them out there, and GeForce rally round and work really hard to push it through the cloud platform. But it's not, you know, it isn't unique on that basis.
Yeah, true. I mean, good point. And I think we've discussed that here. Anything that can happen to Epic, and, you know, what happens to those games.
You know what Tim Sweeney's like. I mean, it's just, he wakes up in the morning, he's got a completely different view on the world. So it's just, you know, but it's nonetheless an amazing platform. And they are a really great company. I mean, they really work hard to push this technology.
For sure, for sure. So we got 53 of you guys voting. Just looking at the polls again. 6% Luna, 43% Stadia, 26% GFN, 25 Xbox. So Xbox and GFN is pretty close. It's quite interesting. Good. Thank you guys for filling that out. But yeah, just watching that. But let's get to Monkey Man. What's your take on the GFN news for this week?
So let me clear a couple of things up first.
Oh boy.
Assassin's Creed 3,
Uh-huh.
you can only play that game on GFN if you previously purchased it from Ubisoft store, as it is no longer on the store. I was extremely confused trying to make the news during the week. I was like, guys, where is this game? Like, it's not in the store, so where is it? And the fellas cleared it up for us. It's not the remastered version. You would have probably been better with the remastered version.
Wait, it's not the remastered. I thought it
It's
was.
not the remastered version,
Oh.
no. It's the original one from Ubisoft store.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that's a bit of a letdown if you don't already have that game from Ubisoft. You ain't playing it on GFN. Another thing, because we know you guys are watching, can you please fix performance mode in Fortnite? I don't play the game, but I am sick and tired of hearing people complain about it. Please
wrong with
fix it. I don't know. I don't play the game, but everyone on Reddit, on Twitter, even on our videos, why haven't they fixed performance mode? Why haven't they fixed performance mode? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't work at NVIDIA. Like, I've asked. They don't know. So please fix that. This week, yeah, GFN week, really good. Game Deck, I like the look of that one. I'm like yourselves though. It's on sale right now. It's £23. I'm gonna try and wait and see if I can pick up a key for that, a review key or something. Because I'm unsure whether I'll like it. It's very interesting looking and reading about the game. It's something different from the norm. So yeah, looking good. Eastward's getting great reviews. I've already had my say on the free-to-play games. It was one of the first subjects I started covering for, the channel when I first joined up with you guys. The amount is just fantastic, whether you like free-to-play games or not. I know there is an absolute ton of people out there that just grind free-to-play games without spending a penny. Like, there are absolute masters of EVE Online out there without spending a penny. And your spell breaks and those types of games. And by the way, spell break is an absolutely fantastic game if you haven't played it. It's like 3v3s and 5v5, but everyone's a mage, so it's like so
It's like
fun.
Dragon Ball Z, man. It reminds me so much of like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it is actually very, very, very similar. Yeah, it's a really good game. So I'm not going to take up too much more of your time because we know Duncan has a pressing matter about GeForce Now that he wants to talk about this week. So
go ahead, Duncan.
I've got a pressing matter.
Keep mentioning it.
I think it has went under the radar somewhat, but GFN is launching their open beta, or not GFN, one of their partners is launching their open beta for Australia next week. Which is great to see. And they're using this website called cloud.gg, where you can get achievements and other bits and bobs for playing games and rewarding you for playing more games, which is good to see that sort of getting implemented. It's great to see it's being pushed out to Australia, and we know there's other places on the radar as well. So I think this is actually pretty big news. That's another country coming into the cloud gaming sphere.
It's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it isn't actually GeForce Now that are rolling out there, Duncan.
So who it is? It's Pentinent. They are an Australian ISP that they've partnered with, much like they do with Alliance and Avia for Latin America. So that's
interesting.
That's the way they're working with that. Yeah.
Piggyback.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto Boy Megs, I'm interested in you guys, actually, your thoughts on this. Pluto Boy 85 saying Ubisoft's going up, as we know, end of the month. You can obviously subscribe now and lock it in, as you did with GFN, but what do you guys think? Do you think they're pushing it now beyond the point?
They called me a founder.
Yeah, I know. I dipped out and he dipped back in quick.
Yeah, they said, thanks for being a founder, and I'm like, cool, because I definitely didn't want to I don't know, 17, $99. Yeah, I didn't want to pay that.
Do you think that's tipping it over the top of the point where people go, maybe not?
I'll jump in there. Personally,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they're getting in just now before the new games come. So you have Far Cry
Good point.
6, you
Good
have
point.
Raiders
Good point.
Republic coming.
Yeah.
You're going to have a new Rainbow Six. Is it still Quarantine? What's it
Yeah.
called now?
Extraction.
Is it Extraction?
Yeah.
I'm still going to call it Quarantine. That's coming in January too. So, yeah, look, if you like to buy your games, you're just never going to subscribe to that anyway. But for myself, there's so many good Ubisoft games in there. I really like it, and I'm like Ray. I'm a founder now. I ain't letting that go. I love my rewards. You get rewards for Division 2 and things like that. You actually get to pick, so you'll get like a choice as well. So you can pick which rewards you want, and you get some new gear and stuff. So there is wee perks there as well. I'm happy with the price. Some people might not be happy with it.
Is it going up to $15.99 in our currency, isn't it, Monkey?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
$12.99 currently, going up another couple of pounds, couple of dollars. Yeah.
That's just for the cloud access.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. Only if it's linked to Stadia or Luna.
Right. So if you just went straight to Ubisoft and didn't use it in the cloud, then you don't pay any more.
You don't pay any extra. No.
Oh, okay.
So they charge in extra for cloud, which is quite interesting.
That is interesting.
But GFN is not affected by it. You'll still be able to play Ubisoft with GFN without paying any extra.
Break this down for me then, because I missed out. I was assuming that there was just a blanket price increase. What you're saying is no, if you only play on GFN. So if you play on Stadia or Luna, you have to pay extra. But if you play on GFN, the price isn't going up. How are they regulating that?
So
I'm confused.
GFN doesn't have ports. They don't have to do any work.
Yeah,
I think that's why.
Luna and Stadia, they have to make ports and they have to make money somewhere. So if you're going to play in the cloud with them, they're going to charge more. GFN has nothing to do with those ports.
Yeah, that's true.
This is where NVIDIA's process is actually benefiting them then, because their techs and their engineers do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to putting the games onto the GeForce Now servers, NVIDIA servers. They do like 95% of the work, so they do. That's why sometimes games go into maintenance for quite a long time. I'm not saying that that's okay, but it's only when a serious issue occurs and the developers sort of need to be brought in, you see that sort of thing happening. So that's benefiting them. I think it's okay for Ubisoft to look for some of the money back, because
I don't think it's Ubisoft. I think it's Luna and Stadia.
Yeah. See, I would have thought it would have been Ubisoft, because they've got a lot of faith in cloud. They're the first major publisher to go, all in across the services, bringing their games to as many places as possible. So
I think that's Stadia and Luna's cut on that, because they're not going to make any money. Because if they're paying Ubisoft whatever the fee is at the moment in your currency, that means Stadia and Luna aren't getting any money.
It's a good point, man. A good point. I never thought about that.
So I can just be clear on this, because I'm an old bear, as you can see. So I took my original Ubisoft Plus subscription out via Ubisoft, but it's on Stadia. I would be on Luna, but we haven't got it. So how do I stop it going up on the basis that I don't care not playing it on Stadia? I'm happily playing it on GFN.
So you would need to unlink your Stadia account.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't make this too clear, do they?
You don't get access.
It's a good point, man.
It's
a good point. Honestly speaking, I had no idea it was this complicated at all. I think
that's crazy. It's not a great consumer move, is it? To be fair, because I literally thought, it's a general blanket increase, as I think did the guys in the chat. Yeah. And so this is actually enlightening. See, it was worth coming on today, Ray.
There we go. again, I told you having you two on here
Yeah.
is gonna be good for discussion pieces. So
They're gonna be like, guys, don't forget Extraction, Far Cry 6, Riders Republic. We got all these games. Come on.
right, enticing for sure. But yeah, GFN and news this week for me. I would say those 10 games, I'm probably not going to play any of them, just being real. But shout outs to them and just highlighting the free to play titles. Again, it made me just question, is this even true? And looking back at it, I was like blown away by, the amount of free to play games. I mean, I guess I knew that. Again, GTP, I've watched the videos, but you just sometimes forget, I guess, in my case. And it's always good to just be reminded, hey, guys, don't forget about 100, almost 100 free to play games that we have on this platform. So again, I feel like they're doing it better than any of the competition with free to play titles. So good stuff. All right. So we've covered a GFN. Do we miss anyone? Do we miss anything? If not, we're going to hop onto Google Stadia. Stadia. All right. Let's do it. So, as you guys know, Stadia had 3 games released this week in a demo. So we got, let's see, we got Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which it's a pretty good game. Not a lot of people give it credit, but I would say that was one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. We have Darksiders 3, which I demoed, and that game is absolutely incredible. Like it a lot. And again, it's on sale, so the price is pretty good for that one as well. And then we had Merg's Market. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but
Mercs.
that's Merg's. Thank you. That's
I Meerkats. Better way of saying.
Meerkats. That's what I've been calling
That's
it.
what I've been calling it.
Meerkats.
that's good. But $20, which is not a bad price, and that's a game from the Stadia Makers program. And then we have a free demo. It came from Space and 8 Up Brains, which is a good co-op game, I would have to say. And from what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, but this should be available for everyone. You don't need to be a pro member. So again, good for them for that, because it means, again, so I'm going to bring this up. You guys let me know when you're responding to the news. But, you see Luna doing this whole couch co-op thing the previous week, right? And here is a co-op game that is not requiring, you to have a pro membership being released this week. I don't know. I just think that's funny the week after. But you guys let me know what your thoughts are on that. But then The Falconeer is going to be coming to Google Stadia October 5th. Good interview with this. And again, they are boasting 60 FPS. Something to take into consideration, this is available on Luna and on Xbox Cloud Gaming as well. So that is the Stadia news for this week. I'm going to open up to you guys. You guys let me know what your thoughts are. To get started, Holt, what's your thoughts on the Stadia news this week?
Well, better late than never for Black Flag to come to the service, because this is one of the Assassin's Creeds I really wanted to see on the service, because it just took a different approach than the other previous Assassin's Creeds. I mean, I just loved all the pirate in there, and the tale of Edward Kenway. I just love the way he's from Swansea with that Swansea humour, and the voice actor who does it just does it justice. His name's Matt Ryan, and he just brought so much chemistry to the character that when he was doing the adventures in the pirate world, I was just laughing non-stop, because it's the humour that I can relate to, because it's a prequel before the assassins sort of go to the American world, the new American world. So it's roughly set with like British characters going the Caribbean, and just seeing all these bizarre characters in the lore of what we know as pirates. So I'm really glad to see that one. I've not played the game myself, but I've seen people play it, and it just looks beautiful. I think that I'm definitely going to actually pick this up and play it on Stadia once again. So,
just to throw, is this an Ubisoft Plus? We were just talking about that previously. Like, do you have to pay for this separately? Is if you have Ubisoft Plus and Stadia, you good?
Both options.
Good. Perfect.
And what I like about Ubisoft games coming to Stadia is that when they come, they actually have a great sale price. So I might actually just jump aboard on this one. Ha, jump aboard. But still. Yeah, and then of course, Darksiders is free. It's the same like Black Flag. I'm just glad to see this come. It should have came when Darksiders 2 was released, or previous when Darksiders Genesis came. But I just love this franchise. I love the developer, and seeing this come, I just really want to get my hooks into it again and actually start playing this story with hopes that other THQ games will actually come to the platform. I love this hack and slash feel to it, and I love the way the story's more focused and the map's more closed, because it feels more intimate, that I'm not getting distracted running, doing loads of quests or side quests or just doing something stupid. So it's really just good just to relax and hack and slash some enemies down. The Volcania, I'm staying away from that. I just can't do flight dogfighting games. It just makes me nausea and sick. I just can't stand it. But for people who actually like flight games, I can see this game keeping you on the edge of the seat as you kill hundreds upon thousands of enemies, and the tide will turn at any given choice. So if you like being a dogfighter, or you like this kind of flight action game, then it's definitely for you. But no, I'm staying away.
Okay, fair enough. How about you? Let's go to GTP. What's your take on Stadia news for this week?
Yeah, I think overall, it was a nice little, I'll call it a comeback week for Stadia. At least felt a little bit better with the releases and seeing what they had. Like Holt said, I was wondering where Darksiders 3 was when I jumped into Darksiders 2 and assumed it was coming. Now, I haven't tried it yet. I know you've played it, Ace, but I'm going to have to, because I'm really concerned about the THQ ports, because Darksiders 2 is like, they did the minimal to get the game to run on Stadia.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried this one yet to see if they've put more into it.
Yeah.
But I definitely plan on it. Black Flag, however, one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games of all time. Hardcore Assassin's Creed players will say you're insane, but for me, it was like by far the best. The lore for me, the Caribbean, the pirates, and it was the first one that had the ships, and you went out and you drove your own ship around, you blew up other ships. It was really great, and it actually is a good port, like Ubisoft tends to do. They did a pretty good job of bringing the game over. I think they could have done even better in some areas, but I didn't have a lot to complain about. Even in my comparison, while GFN being PC does tend to look better, I was impressed. It ran really well compared to some of the more recent ports. So I think it was a good week for Stadia overall. Falconeer also. That developer has done a phenomenal job taking his time, and all of them taking their time to get this game running properly everywhere. Switch, Xbox, Cloud for Stadia, for Luna, for xCloud, hitting that 60 FPS target. I've played through the game already before, so I won't be playing it again, but I personally really liked it, and the amount of work that they put in to make sure it runs great no matter where it releases is awesome. No matter where you play it, it's going to be good.
Yeah. The Falconeer game, I have to say, when I tested in Luna, like sometimes I can tell what 16 was, 30 was like 45 if it comes to that, but they do a good job like showcasing 60 FPS with that game. I don't know what it is, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with Stadia for sure. But how about you, Rock? What's your take on the Stadia news for this week?
Yeah, I mean, they keep bringing interesting stuff out every week. The demo of the is it your space, my space? That was something completely different, wasn't it? I remember that. Yeah, what was it called? It came from
space.
It came from is that what it's called?
Any
road up. That was actually really good. It's a quality little game, and you're right. It's anyone can play it. So and it was a couch game. I don't know. It was a bit ironic that it came out just after the Lunar News. But I think these things take a little bit more time to bring together. I'm sure that was just a coincidence. But I mean, they keep trolling, they keep trundling along, and they keep trolling Duncan and getting him all upset. But they keep trundling along. I mean, they're never going to have the impact of a GFN Thursday with 50 games that they're porting across, because of the process. As you guys have already mentioned, it takes time to port stuff, and they're looking as well to move the tech out to other providers. So they're fighting on two fronts. But yeah, I mean, I'm still in there. I don't maybe play it as much as I'd like to these days, because I'm kind of, if they brought one port out and it was Destiny, that's probably all I'd be playing anyway. I'm getting sad and old these days, but the quality is still there. I do. There are some issues at the moment with the Google TV, and I know that they've said that they're going to be rolling out some fixes. There's some issues with people getting frozen controllers if they pause games. I've been unable to connect my controller so that if I fire it up, I'm always recognizing the controller. I've got to keep going into the app and reconnect the thing, and that's annoying as anything. And I've been in two minds about going back to the old Google Google control. What's it called, Duncan? Chromecast. That's the fella. See,
that's the bad boy.
That's the puppy. And of course, interestingly, I don't know if it makes the cut from news, but over the last couple of days, they've been pushing out Premier editions for free to people that have kind of fallen on the wayside and maybe suspended their. Of course, Muggins here resubscribed last week, so I completely missed out on that one. But it's interesting. It's interesting that they're doing that. And again, questions in there. Is that just because they've got a surplus of stock they're moving out because they want to update? They've got some updates coming through on the controllers, or I'm not quite sure. Of course, those Premier packs still contain the old Chromecasts, which we know are redundant now. They've been replaced by the Google TV. So yeah, that's interesting in and of itself. We'll see.
Yeah. Thanks for your input with that. How about you, Duncan? What's your take on the Stadia news?
The Stadia news, if you're living in Stadia Land and Stadia Land only.
You always start with that.
Yes.
You always start with that.
Yes. But unfortunately, that's the way you have to phrase stuff so you don't upset people. If you're living just in Stadia Land, it is a good Stadia week. They've brought games, and they appear to be good ports as well. The 60 FPS. I have to phrase this probably correct. If Black Flag came at 30 FPS, there would have been a lot of more questions raised. It coming at 60 FPS, being an 8-year-old game, it should be 60 FPS. So I'm not saying why there's such a big woo. This is absolutely amazing. It should have been 60 FPS in the first instance. The THQ stuff, I'm not sure if we're going to be touching on that. We've got more sequels not coming to Stadia this week. Again, that may have been... Holtz isn't happy with that. I can see Holtz.
Talk about it. I didn't add in the notes, but what have you seen that's not coming?
Last night, there was a THQ presentation.
Yeah.
And you're going to laugh at the games, but it is just more examples of more games not coming. Destroy All Humans 2 is not coming to Stadia, and the new SpongeBob game is not coming to Stadia. So everybody laugh at me for mentioning about SpongeBob there.
It's a great game, man. People, yes. It's a great game. I really enjoy my SpongeBob, man. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just more examples. So last week we had NBA. Last night it's them two games, and next week we're going to get Lost Judgment as well. There's just worrying signs out there about Stadia and the games coming across, and I just want to see this rectified, because we're coming to the end of the year. There's about 20. I don't think it's even 20 games. I think we're into the teens of games we don't know which is coming, because from the 100 games which are meant to be coming this year. And the cupboard is beginning to look bare, especially if you start to look into next year and what games are coming, because next year is absolutely stacked and there's nothing coming there. I want a Stadia Connect, and I want a Stadia Connect pretty soon, just to get some enthusiasm going again. But I think we're not going to get another one. We're not.
They're done.
No.
They're done.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
Get any more of those. That was last year.
Which is sad, man. You know, which is because that brought a lot of excitement to the platform. But I did want to just look at Victor's question real quick, and anyone can hop on here. But it says, what happened to the floor? And Ray, we're gonna get to you and Monkey in a bit. Go ahead, Monkey. I see you waving.
I think he took them with him when he left.
Wait, what?
in a
What?
suitcase.
To answer that question, I think he took the other 200 games with him. He just said, "You're not having them anymore." I watch.
We dropped it.
That's cold.
We
That's
dropped an
cold.
article on Monday about some of this, and I haven't done a big push on it because I know what sort of feedback I would get on it. We have been talking to numerous developers about Stadia and the Stadia's Makers program, and it looks like the Stadia Makers program are the money coming from it is gone, or it is extremely selective now. It doesn't seem to be as freely available for that. For people who don't know, the Stadia Makers program funds indie games to bring them to Stadia. So are indications by numerous developers now that that program is a bit harder to get access to, if not completely and utterly gone. So it's that's not a good sign. And I can't name the games, and people will make fun of the anonymous sources and all this, and people like that. I know of at least, I think it's 3 or 4 games now, which were meant to come to Stadia are no longer coming to Stadia because of money sort of maybe not coming their way now.
Yeah, it's a great question. Dunk, thanks for your input. But it's a great question, man, because when the closure happened, people thought, some people thought that only some of that money that they were using to invest is going to go to them, like really pushing to get, same day release with AAA titles. And yeah, like you mentioned, man, they're missing a lot of game. We're not going to talk about 2K because, I'm still getting over that one. But, talking about like Last Judgment, talking about the THQ showcase with those games missing, it gets a little concerning, man. And honestly speaking, this 400 games probably is slashed in. I probably wouldn't say half, but it's the number probably is reduced now. And again, it's just like, where's this platform heading? Like they can let us know. And we've talked about that multiple times. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it comes, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just want to do Jay's point, saying just because the logo's there doesn't mean it's not going to be coming. Yes, but it doesn't. If the logos were there, it does mean it's coming. Them logos there, you have to assume that they're not coming. And if you follow some of the game developers are out there saying now, and these aren't Mickey Mouse companies. There's one from last week, Miles Jacobson, who I would say the UK people would probably know, who's in charge of Sports Interactive, who make Football Manager, which is an absolutely massive game. There was a number of stadiums were asking about, is Football Manager coming to Stadia? He was saying no, because the logo isn't there. If the logo isn't there, assume that it's not coming. So that's what you sort of need to do.
Right. And last year, I was like, I'm going to shut up. If I don't see the logo, there's a possibility that that game might become. We were proven wrong with Cyberpunk again. When the game was announced, we didn't see the Stadia logo, but eventually, and there's another game I can't think of my head that did the same thing. No logo, but the game ended up showing up. I was praying, crossing my toes and my fingers, hoping that would be the same case with 2K22. Not seeing the logo, not hearing the announcement. Like last day, I'm like, come on, give me that announcement. And the release date happened, and we didn't get it. So I'm a little skeptical about when I don't see logos and an announcement. To me, I would rather just see that logo, just tell me, confirm that the game is coming out. But yeah, I hope we answered some of that. Anyone else can hop on here. If not, we'll get to Rain Monkey.
I think for me, the biggest issue that I have with Stadia, and everybody, and this is my entire content creation, it revolves around Stadia and always has done. So, but having said that, I'm in a similar place to Duncan. I'm also not. I've never been shy of saying if I have any issues or concerns. I think my biggest concern, which is rarely ever mentioned, is if I buy a game on Stadia without subscribing to Pro, I only get to play it at a fairly mediocre quality, because it's not even that it's just 1080p. It's not even great 1080p. I don't get HDR. I don't get 5.1 surround. I've got to subscribe to get those features, and yet I've paid the same for the game as someone that's paying for the subscription. Whereas if I go to any of the other cloud platforms, that isn't always the case. So for me, I still feel that's where they're missing a big trick. If they really want to encourage people to use Stadia as a platform, they have to, if I buy a game, if I'm paying £60, if I'm paying the same amount for the game on Stadia as I am anywhere else, I want the same quality that I'm going to get.
It's a good point.
Otherwise, why go and buy it on PlayStation or Xbox at the same price, and I get 4K and everything else, and I can play it on xCloud. And if I wait a year, I can play it on PS Now. That's my major concern with Stadia. Other than that, I love it to pieces. It's still the easiest user interface. The at its highest quality, it is an amazing experience. Yeah. But that, for me, they've mismade it on that point, and I think they need to address it.
So, if I can just put my Stadia hat on, like who's left today? I was gonna say Jim Justice, but who's left, I'm gonna act like put my hat on and act like I'm them.
Phil
And
Harrison.
Okay, Phil. Uncle Phil.
Is he though?
Yeah.
But his coat may be in the closet, but no one's seen him wearing it.
No. Gamer TV, was it Gamer Hell Monkey? Like, the dude has like VP of Google, right?
Yeah, and it's like makes burgers at lunchtime.
Anyway. But anywho, the argument that you can make, Rock, is you're getting a free console to play your games on, right? I mean, yes, it's not 4K, it's not HDR, but the fact that you can play that game for free, I feel like that can be an argument that Stadia can make, right? You don't, I mean, it's not the best quality, but hey, you're not paying $200-$300 for like a PS4. You can get that for free in a way.
But I could buy it on Steam and play it on GeForce Now with with ray tracing.
Damn. Okay.
But
drive the mic with that.
Pay a subscription for ray tracing, though, don't you?
Sorry?
You have to pay for the ray tracing, though, don't you? The same way as you have to pay for 4K. It's all,
that's true. That's a good point. You do have to pay it. Yeah.
We could go around in circles for a while. My satirical comment about the hitman himself, Phil Harrison, didn't go down too well recently. But I just feel like you're trying to name someone known to the community that's still at Google Stadia, and there's no one there. The big names of the gaming industry are gone, and 4 games this week. Yeah, great. All solid games. From Space is a fantastic little game. I love a wee twin stick shooter like that. I think it's just fantastic. And hopefully since the demo's there, I presume the full game's going to come to Stadia at some point. Really, really enjoyable experience. Playing it, absolutely no hassles whatsoever. I was playing on my laptop sitting here, and then I moved over to TV, for a wee bit of comfort later on, and just carried on playing. And really good. But games not showing up at these events, Stadia logos not showing up, it is concerning, because if you've invested in this platform, I know it's only coming up in its 3rd anniversary, but you want to see the logos there. You want to know what's coming. I don't want them to turn around, the day or two before a big game's release and say, oh, it's coming to Stadia. I think, well, where the effects, the adverts? Where is the marketing? Why are you not pushing this and trying to get more people onto this, wonderful service? At its core, it is a really, really good platform. There's just wee missteps along the way, and that's all right. Every business, every company, every human being has missteps along the way. They just need to be more vocal, I think, and show a bit more about about themselves, be more open and sort of honest with the communities, because they have a very loyal fan base. I feel like a lot of Android and Google, not fanboys, but sort of avid supporters of these companies have sort of followed over to Stadia, and it is a great place to game, but they can do better, and I want to see them do better going forward.
Yeah. Someone, I think it was Jay here, who was saying this is they're making some changes, and hopefully those changes are for the better. I'm trying to find it, but before we do, I want to get Ray. Ray's been quiet, man. What's your take on the Stadia news for this week?
Well, first of all, I'm very happy about Black Flag coming to Stadia.
Yes,
I watched Stadia Pro Gaming stream it, and it looked amazing. It looked beautiful. So I'm glad I waited to play it in the clouds. From space, I haven't played the demo, but I actually played the single player game, which I loved, and I can't wait to play that. And then I think the other Falconeer, man, I played that on Luna. I actually streamed that, and I got motion sickness. I almost I'm being honest, almost threw up, because I hate flying on planes. I hate heights, and I can't do the loop. I've never been good at flying games. I get motion sickness. So I'm not interested in that. And then the other game, it looked like Overcooked. What is it? Mears Market? Meats Market. It looks like an Overcooked kind of like game. So I might be looking at that. But I just want to say this as a district manager out here. When I trained when I was selling jewelry and diamonds. I trained when I sold property. And people that I train, I've always said feature and benefit when you're dealing with consumers. What is the feature, and how does that consumer going to benefit from it? And I think in the gaming community, it's a taboo to talk about a certain platform. Every gamer, every consumer, everybody's different. And so I love Stadia, but I gotta, but it shouldn't be, you should give feedback because you want the business to succeed. That's how a business is going to do good, by listening to the consumer and taking that feedback and doing something with it. I mean, there's lots of us that invested a lot of money. I know I have. I got over 100, and I think I got about 161 games.
Yeah.
Half of that was pro games, and half of that is what I spent.
Right.
So, I want to know what's going on. What's the roadmap? And a lot of people say, well, hey, they gave us a roadmap. We know that we have these certain games. But honestly, guys, with me, like I said, I'm a multi-platform gamer. So if it's not on Stadia, and I'm just being honest, I'm gonna play it here, or I'm gonna play it on Xbox, or I'm gonna play it on GFN, I'm gonna play it on Luna. I'll play somewhere else. But eventually, if you don't see 2K, if you don't see Football Manager, and you don't see, you don't start seeing the games, that's why we play these platforms, are for the games. Yeah. And so I can understand there's some games that are coming out that I'm looking forward to in Stadia. Far Cry, thank God for Ubisoft. I know Death Carnival. I know there's some indie games that are coming out for Stadia. And so, but I'm at this point, man, that's just Stadia, man. That's just Apple does the way they do it. Epic does the way they do it. Not every company. I think the problem is everybody expects this company to be like this company, and it ain't gonna happen. Google ain't never been like that, man. They're not gonna do that. You're not gonna get a roadmap. You're not gonna do a giant connect and tell you, and sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes I get a little excited with the stealth drops. It blows me away. I'm like, holy crap, and then sometimes I'm like, when the hell, what the hell, where's 2K? Where's Judgment? So I have a lot of mixed emotions about Stadia, but I'm a founder. I've invested. But what Stadia does help me with is I've made a whole lot of friends that I play a lot of. I mean, if I didn't have Red Dead, if I didn't have Siege, if I didn't meet, all these people that I have friends in Canada and UK, I think that probably would have changed my mind. So I've met a lot of interesting people through Stadia, even through Luna, believe it or not. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as the question, the week, how did they do this week? I'm happy about Black Flag. I can't wait to play that.
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked out, it's so interesting because earlier I said like Black Flag is my favorite Assassin's Creed game, but I'm really more impressed with Darksiders 3, man. I can't straight like that game is actually good. Like I would say it's not God of War. Okay, don't crucify me for saying that. But it's like Stadia's ish God of War. It's good. It's good story graphics. GTP, I can't wait for you to like test the game out just to see.
Can
I
you
agree.
though?
I agree.
Can you though?
Darksiders 2 was not the best port, but
Oh, it
man,
wasn't that bad.
but 3, I'm telling you, man, if you watch my video, like it starts off with me just like being like, holy shit, like it took me by surprise how well it looked and ran. But yeah, I highly
Does
would
it now? Is
recommend that.
Darksiders 3 running 60?
Yeah.
Because I haven't. Okay,
They have
because
frame
Darksiders 2
and they
is
have
30, and that's
yeah.
freaking hilarious. That game
Yeah.
is old as hell.
They
And
have
there-
frame mode and visuals. So if you go frame, it is
Nice.
60. Yeah.
there seems to be actually an issue with the ports for everything for Darksiders 2 and 1, where it's locked to 30. So it's even on console. So when Darksiders War Masters eventually makes its way onto Stadia, which I think is coming, someone gave me a tweet this week trying to troll me about something. Surprise, surprise. I think that is nailed on to coming, so that will probably be 30 FPS. Just want to go back to, we'll be positive here about Stadia. Black Flag is, if people know me, I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. The game which got me into Assassin's Creed was Black Flag. I rate this really, really, really highly. And there's Cold Staff in his bits off there.
So again, great week. I mean, like Darksiders a demo. Black. I'm not a big fan of the merit gameplay, that whatever it's called. I'm gonna call it Overcooked for Stadia. But not a big fan. But the other two games and a demo, I would say, is really impressive stuff. But I did want to say, Ray, you were talking about if a company kind of doesn't do well, right? Like Google Stadia didn't do well, right? Just take feedback and get better and improve. I would have to say, man, shout outs to GFN, and I keep bringing this up, and some people don't like when I say this, but some people almost fail to realize how rocky the launch was as well, right? When they launched, it was all the games that people were playing, playing on the service pretty much left in a day, right? They lost COD, they lost all Bethesda's games, they lost Microsoft, like those games just left. And they could have just, continued to just not inform the public what what's going on, just not give us a roadmap, but they're like, we need to clean things up. They started with the roadmap. They started working on bringing those games on. They were consistent with blog posts every Thursday. You know what you were getting, and they have won a lot of people back. And the reason is because they truly care. They want to connect with the audience, the creators, and their subscribers. And they made the effort to improve their platform. And I think a lot of people see that. People are like, oh, why are everyone talking so highly about GFN? It's because they are showing people that we see you, we hear you, and we care about our platform. So again, I just want to paint that picture. Stadia's launch was rocky. GeForce Now's launch was rocky. But then you see who like really cared about like improving more and doing better things for their community and their users. And I think it just shows, right? So
Right.
again, go ahead.
But all these cloud platforms, man, they're like my baby. So I want them all to do. I
Absolutely.
subscribe to all of them. I play. I
Absolutely.
just want them all to
Yeah.
succeed and do good. That's all. And I think
I tell people, sorry, I invested a lot. I have Chromecast. I have 4 or 5 TVs here. Chromecast, all of them. Google City controllers. So if City goes down, man, and like you were saying with the games that you've purchased too, like my library is huge, So there's a lot of investment. I do not want to see this platform
Stadia won't go down for
man.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's contracted anyway to at least provide that service, and I think it will be here for at least another 2 or 3 years. Whether it's still called Stadia or whether it's part of YouTube, that's a whole other question point. But I don't think anybody that has any games on Stadia have got anything to worry about. And to be fair, if you haven't already played them anyway, what the hell's wrong with you?
Good point.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I used to have, when I was in my office, I had some diehard console guys laughing at me about cloud, and that was back in 2019. Here we are almost in 2022. And I know one's xCloud and one's Luna. And they're like, yeah, you're right, because they thought this was a technology that was going to die. And as you can see, it is growing and growing. The features, everybody, I mean, the couch, the state share, I mean, all of them have, ray tracing. All of them have certain features that is just amazing.
Yeah.
Ray, how does Luna compare to Stadia in terms of the actual quality of the games?
It looks, now, look, on my TV, on my computer, it's amazing, Rock. I love it. It runs extremely great. But I had to update my Wi-Fi. I had to update my internet. And I think once I did my internet, but they all, xCloud, all of them play extremely
I think
well.
they've all risen in quality, haven't they?
Yeah, even PlayStation now looks great. Looks good.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
But the one that's just like blown me away, and I just got to be completely honest, GeForce and Xbox, oh my God. And when they start, I mean, in December, when they hit the button and they start, when it's the console, like you have, I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a whole game changer.
Wow.
I totally agree. That's what I've been really looking forward to.
Yeah. Like I keep saying, when it comes to Xbox cloud gaming and PlayStation now, they're the only two platform. Google has said in the future they plan to get 8K 120. But you see these changes happen overnight with Xbox cloud gaming. PlayStation's like, wow, this is the future of gaming, right? To where you're paying the same thing and just overnight you can see an instant change in performance, So it's pretty cool to see that. And I can't wait to see GeForce Now get 4K, or whatever the case might be. But yeah, good stuff. So let's move on to Xbox cloud gaming real quick though. So as you guys know, it officially came out for Windows PC. Just gonna open that up to see what y'all's take is on this. But again, we have some games announcement coming to this platform for the rest of the month. We have Flynn, Sonic Crimson, I Am Fish, which Rock is talking about here, Skateboard 2, Superliminal, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Okay, Origami 2, Lost Worlds, which is a game that was out for Stadia for a bit. It's a game called Sable, Subnautica Below Zero is coming.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's gonna be a good one, and I just want to make sure I'm not combining PC with console here. And then we have a game called Astray Ascend, and someone in the chat was talking about this game, about being excited for it too. And those are the games coming to the cloud for the rest of this month. Just want to open it up to you guys. What are your thoughts about the rest of these games to start, Holtz? How do you feel about these games coming to Xbox?
Well, at first, I'm glad to hear that the official app has been released because I want some consistency to the official app because I've only been playing beta, but because usually had better luck with the browser, so I've been avoiding the app. So now that it's actually come full release, I'm actually going to jump in and see what it's all about and see if it's got a clean user interface. The games that I want to play, I definitely want to play I'm a Fish. I mean, I definitely want to play this because I bet it could be loads of fun, especially with a clownfish in a bowl. What can go wrong?
No, it's a goldfish. Don't oversell it, mate.
It's not a clownfish. He was saying.
No, I said it's like Nemo. I didn't say it was a clownfish.
It's got to be a clownfish. And Rock said it's like Nemo. It's a clownfish. But to me, apparently this game can be frustrating at the same time, but all at the same time can be rewarding. And this is a game that reminds me of Super Monkey Ball, which was a game that me and my friends used to sit back and relax and sort of try and beat each other's high score and do challenges. So it's definitely one I would have to play. Astria Ascending, this one I definitely have to play because it's one from the makers of Final Fantasy 12, and I just love the art style and the aesthetics of the gameplay. I love the idea of actually having turn-based system, taking a laid-back approach to RPGing. So that's one I'm going to play. And of course, I have to say Lost Worlds Beyond the Page. This game is just such a beautiful game when I played it on Stadia, and I'm just so happy to see it come to another cloud platform so more people can actually get this heart-warming, beautiful story in them. So,
okay. Fair enough. Thanks for that, Holt. How about you, Duncan? What's your take on these games coming to Xbox Cloud Gaming?
Yeah, I actually finally got access to the app there last night. I actually did a bit of demo of it live, and it's what I was sort of expecting. It was inconsistent for me. Some of the games were absolutely flawless. Battlefield 1 worked absolutely fine for me, but then I jumped into the old nemesis on xCloud and Forza Horizon, and that was atrocious. Basically, it was playable, to be absolutely fair, but there was lots of artifacting there. Again, it's just normal for sort of xCloud. The consistency from game to game is still not there as yet.
Bro, where's PETA at, man? I can't believe this game.
You can fly? What am I seeing?
This is the flying fish version. Oh, look at him hit the ground there.
That's crazy.
It's cruelty to fish.
It's a really good game. I enjoy it.
It looks good, man.
This must be later in the
I'm
game.
like, wow.
Yeah.
Nah, that water looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duncan, did you have more to add to this?
The game's coming. I'm interested to see if Lemnis Gate is going to end up on xCloud, because if I remember the last announcements 2 weeks ago, a number of the games were not listed as coming to cloud, and they magically appeared. I think this is just another oversight with Xbox. I'm expected to be there because I was pretty sure there was when it was initially talked about coming to Game Pass, that it was mentioned for coming to cloud as well. So I think it is going to be coming, but I think it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's absolutely amazing. I'm greedy as normal, but I think it's steady Eddie sort of stuff.
Okay, fair enough. GTP, what's your take on these games coming to Xbox Cloud Gaming?
I mean, it's a pretty good list for the second half of the month. One game I'm looking forward to isn't on cloud, unfortunately, at least not yet, which is going to be Lemnis Gate, but it is Game Pass for console and PC. So that's one, that's one I'm definitely happy I won't have to buy. I'll be jumping into that. Astria Ascending, cloud console PC, I was happy to see because I was actually going to grab that on Switch. Because I play Switch a lot for my portability or when I'm doing other things. And I was like, oh, cool, cloud console PC. Guess what? Not buying the game on Switch. I'll be playing it over here on Xbox. So, I mean, they're really doing a great job. I didn't expect a super strong month from Xbox for September. We're about to go into October, November, December, and it's going to be game after game after game and exclusives coming. So it's going to be a strong finale of the year for xCloud and for Xbox. But all in all, it's pretty strong, and definitely Lemnis Gate, Astria Ascending. Origami 2 I played a little bit of on xCloud. It's not my type of game, but man, it's super smooth. Like, it plays really, really good on xCloud. I've been playing around with the PC app for a while, as far as like getting in on the insiders, the beta or whatever, and I've been messing with that before it even was coming out officially. And there are certain games that I feel work better on the PC app than in the browser. But I think ultimately I still get an overall better experience through the browser for xCloud for me. And I'm also having a small issue with the PC app where the recently added section isn't updating. Yeah, dude, it's not updating properly. I have to go on browser, add the game to my library, like jump in, and then go to the PC app and go to jump back in for recently added. So that's really the only issue I'm having with that. But still a little better on browser so far for me, but the app has a lot of potential. And I think when you see Windows 11 come, and when you see the fall update for the consoles come, and all that integration start to happen this fall, you're going to see a lot of those little issues start to smooth out between performance and bugs like that.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, GTP. How about you, Ray? What's your take on these games coming?
Oh man, as a ultimate Game Pass owner, I'm loving it. I'm very excited about Limitless Gate. I've been wanting to play Subnautica. I think Lost Worlds is a beautiful game. I'm glad that's also coming to the platform. And Astria Ascending was a game I was looking at. I'm glad I can play that. I mean, and I play it in the browser. I play xCloud in the browser. I thought this was another good week for Xbox.
Cool, fair enough. And did we get to you? Who are we missing here? Did we get to you, Rock? Yeah, go.
Yeah, I'm the same as Ray. Ultimate Game Pass. I think I bought about 5 years worth of the thing actually. I just don't know why. I don't know why or how, but I did.
That's crazy. So you set for life, man.
I'm set. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I've got that bad boy till they put me in the ground. I've been a little disappointed of late of the games that have been rolling out. There's not been anything that's really dragged me in. But you're right, though. October onwards is when really all the big titles are coming out over the next 6 months, really. So I'm looking forward to some of the stuff that's coming through shortly. I'm really excited about the new app, and I'm really, really excited about being able to play cloud on the console. And I know it's kind of, people think that's a bit of an oxymoron. Well, I am a moron anyway, so that's fine. But for me, the ability to trial these things in the cloud and think, yeah, I really like this, I'll maybe download the full version and play and keep it on my box, gives me that added dimension that really marries the two techs together, both in terms of the next gen and the ability to have cloud in there as well. And you know what, hat off to Microsoft for adopting it in the way that they have. I think Sony I think they're hatching plans. I have no idea why they've not made more of a play on it just yet. I think they will. But in the way that I think Stadia have risen the whole cloud concept, I think Microsoft have just taken it to the next step in terms of gaming. So I'm really excited with seeing what comes up in the next 6 months.
That's one of the issues I'm having right now with my son. And my son's like, Dad, can I delete your game? Dad, can I delete your game? I'm like, hell no. No, you cannot delete my game. And then when I go to look for the game, it's deleted. So now that, the cloud, dude, that's been our
the voice of authority.
That's been our issue right now. Because all this extra stuff that he needs to download just to play that one game. There's a lot of extra DLCs and extra stuff, but I think that is just brilliant. And when I'm on my PS5, I can stream PlayStation Now. I can download. I can play in the clouds. I can do that. So I'm just like, kudos. These companies are doing stuff for gamers. Yeah. PC, console, cloud. I mean. And kudos to Xbox, man. Like, they're doing it. They're doing the thing.
It's still this week there was a big update to PlayStation operating system, and now you can play properly stream your PlayStation on your PC, which they've not been able to do properly until now, and it works so well. I've been playing Destiny on my PC, even though I've got it on my PC. through my PlayStation.
Yeah.
What the heck? It's just the ability to do it. Do you know, I was raiding the other week and on my PC, and the darn thing crashed. So I thought, balls, I fired it up and played it on Stadia. And that's the beauty of it. I thought, I'm going to punish you, PC. I'm going back to Stadia. But you still can't stream that flipping Xbox Series X on my PC. And there's no excuse for that. That should be a thing.
See, I can do that. It works really well. I can stream the Series X or S to my PC. It works really, really good through the app.
I can't get it to work. I mean, there is if you download the whole non-official thing and install all that, but that I've not been able to get to work properly for mine. I followed the CGX video on how to do it and everything. I can't get it to work.
Huh. Interesting. You know, I had someone on Discord, and he was just talking about how brilliant it is to be able to play Xbox or xCloud games on your console. To me, when the announcement was made, I was like, I don't see what the big deal is. And then he was like, imagine people who have the Xbox One X being able to play a next-gen game in Halo Infinite. I was like, oh, shoot. Shoot.
I showed playing the medium on a 1X because you can't play the medium on an S or an X. And I showed a video through browsers, through Edge, playing the medium on the 1X. And the potential is it's really strong. There's millions of those consoles out there.
That's I mean, again, Microsoft providing value for its customers, right? Telling them, hey, if you can't find an Xbox and you have an Xbox One X, we'll still hook you up with a next gen. I mean, that's incredible, man. That's really cool.
This is
shout
the future.
out.
I mean, this is where we're living. It's amazing.
It's pretty cool, man. So good stuff. Hopefully the competition, Sony and the rest pick up on that. That's pretty cool. Neato. Monkey, do we get to you in this?
No, I've been a good boy and stayed quiet for quite some time. I think everyone's sort of covered everything, so I'll just give my thoughts on the games that have arrived this week. Not very strong, but Origami 2 is a nice game. You have a choice to sneak around and kill ninjas and throw them into rivers and off the cliffside. That'll never get old. That's just fun, The combat's extremely tricky to get used to in the beginning. You have to get your timings spot on, so it's suiting two demographic of gamers there. The ones that are very sort of thought process, they like to slow play things, and then you get the ones for the gamers who like the Souls, the really tricky combat where you have to, as I say, get your attacks, your parries, your dodges, get all of those spot on. It's probably not as difficult as a Demon Souls or a Mortal Shell, but if you have Game Pass Ultimate, there's no reason not to try it. Jump in there and give it a go. I'm really excited, like Ray, Subnautica Below Zero. I have held off and pulling the trigger on that one.
Yes, me too.
The reviews are very mixed, but it looks so damn good. I can, in a couple of weeks, next week I'll be able to jump in and try that as part of the subscription. So it's just, the options is great. And another thing I'm actually really interested in, 11 more games have got touch controls.
That's true. I didn't.
So they do.
Oh, good shout.
It's getting to the point now where I don't need to take my gaming controller to work anymore, because the touch controls, I'm not going to sit and play Gears or Halo with the touch controls. I ain't that good. But games like Criz Tales and Tropical 6 and that, it's just been, it's just had the touch controls added, in my opinion, the perfect games for me. You don't need to be super concentrated on them. You can just enjoy them at your own pace. And I have a 5-year-old phone now, which is a little bit unresponsive at times. It's just, and that's the thing as well. I have a 5-year-old phone. I can use Xbox, Stadia, GeForce Now, Boosteroid, Shadow. I've got full Shadow PC on my phone. Will it help PlayStation? Get your act together. It's the only thing I'm missing.
Yeah. But speaking about touch controls, I would say RTS games are really good on touch as well. So Halo Wars 2 Guys, if you guys haven't played that game yet and you're into RTS, just got touch controls and Halo Wars 1. Great games to play with touch if you guys haven't yet. Runs really well. So check that out, man. Again, Microsoft just hooking up the consumers. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, cool. Do we get everyone? Wow. We had a lot to cover, and I think we did a good job covering it all in time. It's pretty cool. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we were able to include you guys in conversation pieces. Thank you guys, panel members, for just being here and giving your thoughts on the news. And Ray, Rock, again, appreciate you guys having you guys on the show. Good stuff overall. So I just want to give you the panel members a chance to just let you guys know what they do and where you can find them. So to start, Holtz, what do you do, sir? And where can people find
Well, I'm
you?
just an enthusiast, and you can come and say hi to me on Holtz86 at Twitter. Or if you ever see me in a live chat with any of the creators that I'm watching, come and say hi, and I'll just discuss with the chat.
Cool. Love having you on here. You bring a dynamic that is pretty cool. So good stuff. Oh, it's good to have you.
Rubbish knowledge of World War One history.
And you know what? You need. I'm gonna have to tune into Rock. You have to do a video now, and I'll be tuning in like in this
Vadron.
with it sounds like some cream, doesn't it? Vadron cream.
Oh my goodness. Y'all. How about you, Gamer TV, Jerry? What do you do, sir, and where can people find you?
Just call me Gamer TV. He didn't even make it today. I was here for 2 hours with you. You call me Gamer TV.
Oh, no.
First, you say the best for last, and I go first, like always. So I'm on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. And then I'm Gamer TV. F it. I'm not even going to be here next week.
Gamer TV, calm yourself.
Oh my god, I love Gamer TV, man. That is not even close to an insult. I'll take Gamer TV anytime. Oh man, yeah. All right, guys. At Game Tech Planet, Facebook, Twitter. Find me on YouTube. Game Tech Planet. You know the deal. Console, cloud, PC, comparisons, and all that jargon. Oh my god.
Yeah, my bad.
Let's
dude.
go.
I'm so bad. But yeah, GTP, man, always good to have you. Good to have you for sure. How about you, Duncan? What do you do, sir? And where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm just going to say something before I do this. It's not me actually starting things off again. What a world we're living in now with gaming. We're sitting here being very critical of game services who have dropped like 20 games over the, or 20, nearly 30 games. And we're sitting being critical. Imagine this about 5-10 years ago. We wouldn't be anywhere like this. Gaming has just moved on so much.
Entitled.
Yeah.
Yes. But you can check me out at One to Escape, One Twitter, or Cloudy with Games. It's I just like gaming is just absolutely brilliant at this moment in time, and it's we're coming into the fun season. Everybody loves this time because of the amount of games coming.
True, Duncan. Always good to I hope this name sticks, man. Gamer TV.
Dude, that's my next channel right there. I freaking love it. That is it.
That's awesome, man. Dr. Space, man. Good to have you on here too, man. All right. How about so we got the best for last. Awesome. Ray. Great to have you on here as well.
Thank you. First of all, thank you. Thank you for what you guys do for the gaming community. Love the content. Love each and every one of you guys. So thank you for what you guys do. Tomorrow I'm on Retro Rewind with Stadia Pro Gaming, Jeff, Ryzak, and myself. And let's see. And then I do the Rock reveal with on Tuesdays with Rock, John Scar, VetCloud Gaming, and myself. Thank you. And then, guys, my Twitter page, Ray3473, the gaming sideboard. I stream late at night because I'm out here in California. So that's probably in the UK. That's like 6 in the morning for you guys. And on the East Coast, it's like 1 in the morning. But usually on my Twitter page, I'm now when I'm streaming. Tonight, I'm going to be doing Red Dead Redemption 2, and I got Cloud Gaming Dad. He's doing a 24-hour stream right now. So he's going to be joining. We're going to join each other tonight, and that's going to be fun. So thank you, man. Once again, you guys are awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Good having you on here, Ray, as always.
Oh, one more show. Sorry. Cloud Nation TV with Dr. Spaceman. That was for that name he put out there, but Vet and shout out to them and JD.
Good stuff. JD, we got to get you back on this show too, man. Good stuff. All right, so Rock, best for last, man. Tell people
that was
what
Ray.
you do.
He was best for last. I'm best for last.
Best for last.
No, he's the best before date, Rock.
Ah, yeah. Listen, sloppy seconds for me, huh? Listen, thank you so much for inviting myself on and Ray. But I mean, he's already said thank you. It's an absolute privilege to be with you guys. I love you all. I only do one show. I am like the world's laziest content creator. But it is.
You're a busy man. You're busy man.
Yeah. I'm just lazy. It's Tuesday, as Ray said, with his very good self, me, John, and Clavet, and we try and coincide it with the release of the Stadia this week on Stadia blog. But I think we've success rate so far is about 1 in 10. So it's the world's least effective blog releasing program. But one day they might catch up with us. I'm working on another show. I hope to run out. Let me see, be the last day of the month. So a little bit more news on that coming soon. But thank you so much. Oh, and it's YouTube/rocks with an S at the end, and that stuff down there. Forget me on Twitter.
Cool. Always, Rock. Good to have you in here. So link is in description to Ray and Rock YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out for sure. Monkey, do you have anything to plug?
Thanks for joining us. Two wonderful guests,
Thanks,
people with great opinions, and it really just switches things up. Sometimes we like to go just like the usual suspects, but when we get great guests, we get such a good laugh, man, and it makes staying up past my bedtime so much more worth it. And great show tonight, guys. Listen, everyone knows where we are already, so I'll let you finish your piece, my good man. Thanks again, everyone.
Cool, man. This was fun. Again, great guest. We'll have to do this again another time for sure. But love the input, and you guys definitely thank you for it. Let me check the polls. I don't know where we left up there. But yeah, Luna 7%, Stadia 40, GeForce Now 24, Xbox 28%. So Stadia took it this week. Almost 100 votes in at 99. So good stuff. Participating in all of that. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back here same time next week. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.